Ta fucking da. That's ta-da with a fucking in between. Approaching 48 hours of a water fast. Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. I guess I could summarize the whole thing to say, by saying, if you have all the information at your fingertips, if you're fully educated as to what works, what doesn't work when it comes to the pursuit of fat loss, you can essentially do whatever you want and make it work for yourself. I am openly admitting that I have an issue with binge eating, and I have the proper information to correct any mistakes I make when it comes to overeating on a specific day or a specific week, which is mind-blowing information. You could essentially undo a week's worth of overeating by fasting. What are the health ramifications of prolonged fasting? Well, there's a lot of information out there that suggests that prolonged fasting is good for you. It's good not to eat. It's good to not eat for extended periods of time. Now, granted, prolonged fasting, especially if you do it often, will likely result in a loss of muscle mass. I didn't want to do it this way. I wanted to do the tried and true method of caloric deficit, eating a sub-optimal level of calories each day, and losing fat that way. However, after returning back home from vacation, 10 pounds heavier than when I left, I had to do something. You gotta do what works for you. This desire to overeat, this psychology behind looking for excuses or opportunities or justifications to splurge on my diet is something that I feel I will be battling with and struggling against for a long time. However, I like fasting. It's becoming easier for me. I've been doing it for the past, I did it all last year. And I did some of it in 2021. So I'm familiar with the process of fasting, and I've been doing it for so long that I'm comfortable with it. And I can use it as a tool to compensate for binge eating experiences. I will never advocate it. But it works. Fasting works. I haven't weighed myself yet. Yesterday morning, I weighed in at 194. I'm going to weigh myself tomorrow after I've completed, 56 hours of fasting, just to see what that looks like. I'm going to be breaking my fast tomorrow, probably with a protein shake at around 10 o'clock a.m. And then proceeding to eat lean proteins, chicken breast, get some oatmeal, potatoes, really just sticking with the bare essentials when it comes to macronutrients. Leading up to my photo shoot, which is now in a couple of days. Today is Sunday, leading up to Thursday. It's really just the thing that I consider is creating a full look of my muscles. while keeping as much water weight down. Again, keeping the sodium intake minimal, and then the final day of the mini cut will be basically no water, to create a vascular, paper thin appearance. And then the day after, this upcoming Friday, is my DEXA scan, where I get to find out what my body fat percentage is. And if I had to guess, again, I'm still in the 8% range. I guess the crazy thing is that, and perhaps this is what started the whole overeating experience while I was on vacation, was getting there on that first day and seeing the comparison between how I looked at 178 and how I looked at 188, and not really being able to see much of a significant difference between those two weights, 10-pound difference. And it kind of, I'll admit, it screwed my head up a bit. It made me wonder, like, what's the point of all of this? What's the point of practicing discipline if a 10-pound difference is barely perceivable? So I gained another 10 pounds. It's crazy. And obviously there's more self-reflection that needs to occur. This is an obsession of mine. I've already said that out loud, and I'm just sharing it. I don't even know if this is helpful to anyone beyond me, holding myself accountable for my habits and my behaviors, keeping in mind the specific goal I have of achieving something truly special with my physique. That's service enough for me. However, I am truly interested in helping others, even if it's just with someone who has an identical problem as myself. They just like eating food, finding ways around it. And I have been finding ways around it. I think I can help people. Again, with similar desires, similar intentions, and similar struggles. I think I can help those people. So hopefully I can just continue to write and create content for the individuals that could use my help, can find me. Whatever I'm doing is working. It's not the most structured, the most disciplined approach, and that is still a dream of mine to, in the process of achieving 5% body fat and creating this iconic aesthetic physique that I am so invested in seeing, I believe and I trust that I would achieve that level of discipline that I so desperately crave. I don't know what it looks like, and I guess that's why I'm interested in having that be a part of the journey. Because don't get me wrong, I could get 5% and not be disciplined, as strange as that might sound, but I could. Fasting is not an execution of will. It's rather quite easy, flipping a switch. Am I eating or am I not eating? I'm not eating? Well, I guess I'm not eating. But it's that moment when you break your fast and you consume the first amount of calories, you consume that bit of carbs, and you want more. And you get to your caloric budget of 1,700 calories or 1,800 calories or 2,000 calories, and you're looking around and you're asking yourself, what am I supposed to do now? It's 6:00 p.m. I'm going to bed in 5 hours, and I want more nourishment in my body. What am I supposed to do now? Drink some water. Go on a walk. Distract yourself from the fact that you want more food in your body. Put hot sauce on the food that you're eating. Get more fat into your diet. Fat is supposed to create the feeling of fullness when it comes to eating. Eat some peppers. Hot, spicy things also can create the perception of fullness. See, these are tricks that I am aware of, that I implement throughout my process of calorie restriction and fat loss. However, as stated, I am not perfect at this. Sometimes I go off the deep end, and the thing is, I like it. I like eating like a monster. Not knowing what else is going to go in my mouth, not knowing what else I can fit in my stomach, and the consequences thereafter. The fast, the 48, the 60 hours, the 72. The whole process is enjoyable to me. But fasting isn't for everyone. Something to consider. How can I help you? All I can do is provide my experiences, the information that I have acquired over the past 2 years when it comes to fat loss, getting shredded. I can make the effort to articulate myself better, be more pointed, be more focused, be more encouraging, and more motivating. That's where I can assist. Just to put it in perspective, today was day 2 of the water fast, and because of the amount of carbs that I ate 2 days ago, I have not really felt any depletion of energy, which is typically associated with the second day of a water fast. For me, I get more tired. I have a lack of enthusiasm when it comes to doing really anything active. However, today I got up this morning, walked on my treadmill while getting work done for the first hour of the day, then proceeded to take myself to the gym, did a 45 to an hour long leg workout following the principles of Mike Menser, did a lot of drop sets, 1 set max for all of the exercises that I did. I think I did about five exercises. Got in the sauna. Didn't stay in the sauna for that long because I was keeping in mind that, yeah, I am running off of literally nothing in my body. I'm not really trying to pass out in the sauna. So I stayed in there for about 15 to 20 minutes, sweated my ass off, took a shower, got home, then got on the stationary bike at my place and watched television for about that was an hour and 5 minutes. So 2 pieces of cardio, strength training, all while fasted, and I feel pretty fucking great. Been drinking water all day, took 1 packet of electrolytes, and I've just been keeping it moving. Yeah, I'm curious as to what I weigh tomorrow, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a super long process, and I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to be pursuing this perfection for a long time, for the next several years. So however I look on Thursday's photo shoot will be similar to how I look in the future, but it's not going to be exact. It's not going to be perfect. I will always be chasing perfection over the course of this fitness career. 5%. What does 5% look like? And how often am I going to use fasting in order to get there? And that's, not to digress, but how much of a difference is getting to 5% through fasting and getting to 5% through caloric deficit? How much of a difference does it actually look? Yes, we understand that fasting will result in muscle loss. But how much? And what does it look like? We're thinking about the aesthetic presentation. So I guess I won't know. Maybe I'll have to get to 5% twice. Once through fasting and once through not fasting, just to see the difference. Maybe get to... It doesn't matter. Life is good. Acknowledging that this strategy requires little to no discipline, and understanding that that is still a whole, a factor, a hurdle, an obstacle for me to overcome this lack of discipline. And knowing that this feels more like a get out of jail free card, a cheat, because I'm so adapted to this process. Food for thought. Catch you on the next one.